What I wish I knew about pregnancy and babies. I wish I knew that they were going to grow up into kids and they would eat so much of my food. So it is I, Lavi Ray, the holistic health coach and your favorite doula. And today we are talking about some things I personally wish I had known before pregnancy, before birth and delivery, and some things I found out, some things my midwife told me that I would like to share with you. So first of all, the changes your body is going to go through is like ridiculous. There's going to be like a lot of farting. There's going to be a lot of peeing. There's going to be a lot of peeing like every 3 to 4 minutes. Like you lay down and you get ready to go to sleep and then you jump up and run to the bathroom and pee. And then you're done and you come back and lay down and like 48 seconds later, you're back in the bathroom peeing. So like there's a never ending amount of pee, especially in your last trimester. So just want you to be aware of sleeping close to the bathroom. One thing that happens is when you're pregnant, your stomach is going to, especially if you're African American, your stomach is going to get really dark. So you're gonna get this line from about like right here under your breast, all the way down past your belly button to right above your private area. You're just gonna get a dark line. Everybody gets that line. But if you're darker skin, once you deliver your baby, your stomach area itself is going to be really, really dark, and that line is going to be really pronounced. Now that's going to go away after a while, and I'm going to show y'all. My youngest is 9 years old, so I'm going to show y'all what mine looks like 9 years later. Oh, and also when I was pregnant, my belly button went like this. Boom. I got a little outie. Okay, it was real cute at the time. It's not cute anymore. So that is actually can be a umbilical hernia. So the babies will get it and the mamas can get it too. And so I got it. I never got it revised or corrected. I was like, oh, it's my little baby memoir, you know, besides the child itself who eats all the food. But let me just show y'all what mine looks like. So I still have that line right there, and then you see my belly button's like a little outie or what have you. So the line on the top part disappeared, but the bottom part is still there. But what I did do while I was pregnant, and I would recommend for everyone to do, is lather up that belly with cocoa butter. That's what I did. Every day I smelled like some rice and peas because I had cocoa butter on my belly faithfully, religiously. So I worked that cocoa butter into my stomach faithfully. So I recommend that for you as well. Another thing is, you know, your midwife, your OB-GYN is going to tell you to do the Kegels, right? The pelvic floor strengthening exercises where it feels like you're squeezing real tight and then you release. You can do it anytime, like right now. I'm doing it right now. So you can do it anytime, but that area, no matter how strong it is, it may still tear. So my midwife recommended that I use olive oil and massage it in that area whenever I remembered, specifically in the 3rd trimester, to just make that area a little more soft, supple, easier to stretch. And that is exactly what I did. So my tears were minimal. I did tear, but they are very minimal. I did not get stitches for those tears. If your midwife has numbing cream, you can ask her to numb that area for you. She may or may not do that. But my first birth was in the hospital and they numbed that area for me before I had my son. So I didn't even know that I had torn. Actually, they cut me. I didn't even know that I couldn't feel the cut. I did not have an epidural, but they did numb me in that area and cut so that I wouldn't tear, and then they stitched it back up. When I had my son with the midwife, the 9-year-old, I didn't have it. I didn't get cut. I wasn't numbed in that area, and I tore very minimally. And I had been massaging the olive oil. And in the midst of like pushing and labor and all of that, like you're not really thinking about tears. That's like the last, like you're not even gonna feel it when it's happening. So trust me, it's not that bad. So just massage that area with olive oil just as a precaution. You know, do that regularly and do your floor strengthening exercises so you can just push that baby out like a champ, girlfriend. Okay. Breastfeeding. So I breastfed my babies, and one of the things that happens is when you're breastfeeding on one side, milk is still flowing on the other side, okay? So I like literally had to have a towel there. Now there's a wonderful device that will actually catch the milk for you. But I just want you to be aware that while you're nursing, milk is gonna be coming out the other breast. Another thing that will happen is your body is like a clock. So when your baby's hungry, your body knows it and it's like, ooh, 12, noon, lunchtime, ooh, milk just starts coming out, okay? So your shirt might be drenched with milk if your baby is not around. So be mindful of what time your baby eats because your body knows and you will leak milk. You will leak milk at the thought of your baby drinking, okay? At the thought of your baby nursing, the milk will come. When your baby cries, the milk will come. When someone else's baby cries, the milk will come. So just be prepared, like walk around with pads or a towel or a robe. Just be ready for the milk to come. Along with breastfeeding is engorgement. So engorgement is when your breasts fill up with milk because it's time to feed and you have not expressed that milk. You haven't pumped it or the baby hasn't nursed on time, or it just fills up really fast. Like when your milk first comes in, the first couple of days, you might not even like be aware that it's coming in, and boom, you look down and you're like a double D and you're like, oh my gosh, when did that happen? Cute, but not so cute because it's painful. So engorgement is when your breasts get really full of milk, and the best way to ease that engorgement is to nurse or to pump. And I had to like nurse my baby a lot. I would also say get in the routine of pumping early, because I did not bottle feed my babies right at the beginning. I was like, I don't want nipple confusion. I don't want this and that. And guess what? They never took the bottle. Like they never took the pacifier. And now working as a doula, I see the benefits of pumping and bottle feeding because it just allows you as a mom mobility to just go out and move around, go to doctor's appointments, go to the gym, do whatever you need to do as an individual without having to have your baby attached to you. And that kind of, in my opinion, helps reduce postpartum depression because you're still an individual. Other people can help feed your baby. If you don't want to do that, you don't have to, but I highly recommend it. Even if you're like a crunchy mom and you're like, I just want to breastfeed, that's what I wanted to do. But I am still paying the price 9 years later with my lovely, clingy son who couldn't get enough because I'm so awesome. So those are like the main things that came to my mind when making this video, is just to be aware of those things. There's so much more, you know, individually you are going to be different than I am. You know, I had certain cravings that would come and go. I had an aversion to lentils for a really long time, for like years after the birth of my baby. I couldn't stand the smell of lentils, even though they were my favorite before I had it. So like just had him. So there's weird things that might go on with your baby, but with your body, but I just want you to be aware of those things. And I also recommend just getting some books. I always say what to expect when you're expecting. If you want to know what to eat, I have a really wonderful guide on my website called Plant-Based Pregnancy. So those are 3 different meal plans, but you can download them from Passies and peachesdoulas.com. Pacifiers and peaches, that's who we are. So visit us, post questions in the comments, send me an email. I'd love to make videos about what you want to know about all things pregnancy and having a healthy baby. Bye, lovelies.